Good afternoon. Well, it is for me. It's a Sunday afternoon. I'm back in the shed and I'm taking on the task sticking some new plugs in the old Hayabusa. Did the air filter the other day. Finally got a couple of hours to mess about with this, so I'm going to strip it down and swap some plugs. If you're interested, they're Iridium CR9EIA-9, stock number 6289, and there's 4 of them in this box, hopefully. NGK Iridiums. Anyway, I'll get the seat off, lift the tank and get on with taking the airbox off. Okay, seat's off, tank's up. Obviously just a couple of bolts on the front there and a bolt either side for the seat. And then on the airbox, you got 2 of these screws, one either side, which clamps the rubbers down onto your throttle bodies. And undoing that will undo the 2 this side, and there's another bolt to undo the other side which undoes those 2, being it's a 4-cylinder. And I think that's about it. And then you got an electrical connection pipe, not sure what that one's for. That's the crank breather, that one there. I don't know where that goes. Where do you go? That goes off into the carbs. So is that some sort of vacuum or pressured something, whatchamacallit? Don't know. Anyway, that one needs to come off. That one over there needs to come off. That's the crankcase breather. And as I say, you got an electrical connection there. You got a 10mm bolt at the front here. Let's go down the other side. 10mm bolt here, which has a bracket on it, which pinches down your throttle cables. That's broken, but that don't matter. And then on this side, as I say, you've got the bolt in there, that one there, which releases these 2 rubbers. Then you've got another pipe there, which might be something to do with the pair system, not sure. Electrical connector there, and another small pipe there. Might be worth just taking that off of there. I think it just slides on rubber like that. So that's that off. So it just slides on that tang there, and is now hanging down there. I'll probably forget about that. So get some of these pipes off and then hopefully lift the airbox off. Airbox is off. That's what I was on about, these bolts here. The little Allen bolts go through and clamp 2 of these onto your throttle bodies on there. And all seems good. Dead bugs and leaves. So need to start take the coil packs off and start swapping plugs. All looking good. I think while I'm in here, I might undo the plug for the stator and run some tests on that. I had an episode Friday. The bike had an episode Friday, whereby, because it's got a deep grumble, where I park it in the alleyway around the corner there while I undo my back doors. Ooh, back doors. I usually turn it off because it reverberates a bit much. So I turn it off, and when I went back to turn it back on again, it didn't seem to want to start. It did struggle. I checked the battery. Battery was at I didn't check it straight away, to be honest. Checked it next day, which was yesterday, Saturday. That was at 12.85, 12.8. When I turned the ignition on, it went down to 12.15, 12.2, something like that. Cranked over, no problem too. Started, no problem at all. This is 220 crank, cold crank hours battery. So it's got plenty of, should have plenty of guts to crank it. On tick over, it was charging at 14.1. And I think when I went up to 5,000 revs, it was at 14.3. So it all seems fine. So I'm going to just check the connections, do a couple of checks, and see if the connections are nice and clean. And I don't know why I'm pointing to that one. It's not that one. You idiot. It's in here somewhere. It's further down. Just to check it all. Anyway, you're here for spark plugs. So am I. Let's get some appropriate tools, pull these coil packs off, and have a nose. Right, because you're in the way, I've done some of it. Pulled the electrics off, which is just press the tab. Now you're in the way, see, there you go. It's easy enough. And then slight twist. There you go. And now it comes. All looks good. Bit of grit and shit in there. I'll get the air compressor running and give the spark plug holes a blast out. But yeah, I pulled all the rest of them while you weren't in the way. So just get the compressor sorted, give all the holes a blow job, and then out with the old, in with the new. Right, I'll just show you what I'm going to do on this one. Blow that out, and then the plug hole. Have a quick look. Yeah, that looks good. And then the ones that are going in are 16mm. So if anything, that was a bit loose, that fella there. There it is. Oh, not in shot. Not in shot. Don't look terrible. Let's get a new one and compare and contrast. There's no, I don't think there's any threads screwed to the top of this or anything. No, so there's no cap on the top. And then bring that in a bit. Where's the camera? So one's used and one's not. The electrode don't look any different. The gap's about the same. Let's go with that then. That's the wrong way. That's about hand tight. Little pinch, all done. Sorted. Coil pack back in. And you can hear it go down the threads. Hopefully you could hear it. But the threads on the top of the plug, you can hear it chatter down the threads. Stick some electronics back to it. And it's as easy as that. I'll do the other three. I think the awkward one is that one with the torch in the way. That one there, because this doesn't have a direct route above it to get your spark plug span on it. Anyway, I'm going to get on with these other three, get you out of the way. And that's about it really. I mean, it's just the reverse, putting your pipes back on. Yeah, it's just putting your pipes back on. I covered over the throttle body, so nothing that I was pulling out of here was going in that area, because you don't want that either. Well, you might want that. I don't want that, so I've covered them over. But that is about it. That does look like it's part of the pair system, I think. I don't know for sure. I'm not a mechanic. Never kidded myself. But that's it. That's doing your spark plugs on a Gen 2 Hayabusa while the world around you crumbles. And use the right words, or you're going off to prison. 31 months for words. Jeez. And then that fella the other day brandishing a knife against a Quran burner and getting beaten up, kicked in the head, spat on, all the rest of it. And his assailant gets 12 months. It's madness out there. Much safer in my shed with my toys. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that before it gets too political and rude. Taylor Swift. That'll do. Ta-ra.